This next story is just too perfect, and it totally encapsulates Elizabeth Warren's political career. So this is from Politico, and they say, in the thick of primary season, Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden brawled over Medicare for All. He called her approach angry, elitist, condescending. She shot back, anyone who defends the healthcare status quo with industry talking points is running in the wrong presidential primary. 6 months later, with Biden, the presumptive Democratic nominee, and Warren in the running for VP, she is striking a more harmonious chord. Quote, I think right now people want to see improvements in our healthcare system, and that means strengthening the Affordable Care Act, she told students at the University of Chicago's Institute of Politics this week, while adding that she still wants to get to single payer eventually. The shift in the latest public signal Warren has sent Biden's way in recent weeks that she wants the job of vice president and wants Biden to see her as a loyal governing partner despite their past clashes, which go back decades. Saddest thing I've ever read, right on brand. Warren, there was a time when I thought, and most people on the left thought, oh, she's a principled crusader for what's right. She got us the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. That's awesome. Then over time, that myth was obliterated because that's not who she is. That's not who she is at all. She threw her friend Bernie under the bus and basically implied he's a sexist to try to take him down at the last minute when there was the consolidation of the centrists before Super Tuesday. Even though she had no chance, she stayed in and did kind of serve as a spoiler against Bernie. If she had dropped out and endorsed Bernie, would have been a hell of a lot closer race. And then we get the video of her when she's asked point blank, hey, do you want to be VP? She's like, yes. And now she's like, what do I have to say? What do I have to do? What position do I have to take? I'm whatever. I'm a blank slate. I just want the power. I just want the narcissism. I just want the name recognition. I just want the position. So I'll all the things I pretended to care about policy-wise, I don't care about them. Just not endorsing Bernie tells that whole picture. If she was serious about the things she put, the majority of things she put on her own platform, on her own website, it's not a question. When she drops out, she endorses Bernie. I don't care if it's a day later, 2 days later, a week later, whatever it is. That's what you do if you actually believe in the things you put on your website. But you didn't do it, which means you don't believe in the things you put on your website. You don't care that much. It's not about the policy. Well, here we go again. She's never used those words before. Oh, I think right now people want to see improvements in our healthcare system. That means strengthening the Affordable Care Act. In the middle of a pandemic, 28 million people already didn't have health insurance. Then you're going to add another 43 million up to on top of that because people's health care is tied to their employment. If they lose their employment, they lose their health insurance. So in that scenario where our healthcare system is a non-healthcare system, it doesn't exist. It's a joke. What does she say? Oh, I know I was calling for more radical change, but since I want to be VP, I'll say, we just got to strengthen the Affordable Care Act. That's what we got to do. So at a time that requires even more radical solutions, even bigger and bolder reforms, she's going in the other direction. I want to expand the Affordable Care Act. The thing which forced people to buy insurance on the private marketplace. How can you think that in the middle of a pandemic and an economic depression? It's because you don't care. It's not about the people. It's not about fixing problems. You want to be vice president. And all for nothing, because she ain't going to get picked. She ain't going to get picked. She's an electoral liability at this point, because she decided to go from economic populist early on in the campaign to full-on Wokesville identity politics nonsense. Totally ruined everything about her brand, whatever brand she had. So anyway, right on brand, Elizabeth Warren, total joke. Never believed in anything serious or substantive, immediately caving on any position she claimed to have in order to get the power, to get the position and the adoration. She never believed in this stuff. It's all about her. And I never would have thought this even a year ago. A year ago, 2 years ago, she was clearly the number 2 best senator in the country. Now the number 1 is disappointing us, and the number 2 best senator is totally irrelevant, believes in nothing, has no core, and is shameful. So yeah, everything's going really well. Everything's going well. The country's imploding and nobody's fighting for you. Great.